Uh, Thanks so much for being here. I have a question for Secretary Bessett. Um, on tariffs, the president said over the weekend that we are hoping that maybe tariff revenues could replace income tax. But we also keep hearing about the deals that the administration is pursuing. So my question is, what is the White House's ultimate objective here? Do you want to have long-term tariff revenue or deals that might reduce those tariffs?
Uh, I think it's a combination of both. So we're going to take in long-term tariff revenue. We put a process in place. We have 18 important trading relationships. We will be speaking to all of those partners, or at least 17 of them, over the next few weeks. Many of them have already come to Washington. What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief. And I think there's a very good chance that we will see this in the upcoming tax bill. The president campaigned on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and the restoring interest deductibility for autos, for American-made autos. So tariff income could be used for tax relief on all those immediately.
So you think that there is a role for significant tariff revenue in U.S. fiscal policy?
I think that it is something that got put away a long time ago, and I think that tariffs will bring back American manufacturing and generate substantial revenues.
On manufacturing, we've seen some pretty grisly surveys this month from the Philly Fed, which saw the biggest drop since May of 2020, and the Dallas Fed, similar plunging outlook, poor shipping orders. What are American manufacturers not understanding about your push for onshoring in the U.S.?
Well, I think I was in the investment business 35 years, and I learned to ignore the survey data and or the surveys, look at the actual data, and the actual data has been quite good. The job data is good, Americans keep spending, and as Caroline said, we have these incredible commitments to bring manufacturing back on shore with record investment by domestic corporations and foreigners who want to come into the U.S.
In a recent press briefing at the White House, Secretary Bessett addressed reporters on one of the administration's more controversial economic strategies, tariffs. The exchange followed comments by President Trump over the weekend, where he floated the idea of using tariff revenues as a way to reduce or even replace income taxes. A reporter asked Secretary Bessett to clarify the administration's ultimate goal. Is it to collect sustained revenue through tariffs, or to strike trade deals that could eventually reduce or eliminate those tariffs? Bessett's answer made it clear it's both. He explained that the U.S. is actively engaging with 18 major trading partners, with discussions already underway in Washington. But even as those talks continue, the administration sees long-term potential in tariff income, particularly as a tool for domestic tax relief. According to Bessett, the president's upcoming tax bill could include measures like eliminating income tax on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security, all potentially offset by revenue from tariffs. He also mentioned restoring tax deductions for interest on American-made auto purchases. So the strategy here is to use revenue from imported goods to ease the tax burden on American workers and consumers, a populist move that ties trade policy directly to everyday economic relief. But it's not just about revenue. The administration argues that tariffs will help revive American manufacturing by leveling the playing field. And despite some grim economic signals, including sharp downturns in recent manufacturing surveys from the Philadelphia and Dallas Federal Reserve Banks, Bessett urged the public not to read too much into the headlines. Having spent over 3 decades in investment, he said he's learned to ignore short-term survey data in favor of real-world indicators. And by those metrics, he argues, the economy is holding up well. Job numbers remain strong. Consumer spending is steady. And most importantly, companies, both domestic and foreign, are committing record investments to bring manufacturing back to U.S. soil. In short, the administration believes its strategy is working, even if the early signs appear mixed.